Hello guys, today I want to talk to you about United because, I mean, if you haven't heard, United have a really big, huge PR flub, and it's a great learning experience for us all. All right, hi guys, I'm Jae Burnham with the real Jae Burnham, and today we're going to be talking about United's Airlines PR problem. And it's a situation which, one, we all could get into, but it serves to be a great learning experience for us all. I mean, I'm not going to weigh in on I mean, it's a complete mess, so I'm not going to weigh in. But hey, check out the sky behind me, guys. Look how gray and ugly it is. Yesterday, bright, sunshiny, 70 degrees. Today, it's just in the 50s with a cool breeze. But I'm still in my shorts. Anyway, if you haven't heard, if you live under a rock and you haven't heard any kind of Facebook news or watched the news at all, then you wouldn't know about the whole flap about kicking this doctor off a United Airlines flight because they overbooked. But here's the situation. They got a couple situations here. And it's a complete mess. One, they overbooked, which they knew they overbooked. They allowed the people on the airline, knowing that they overbooked. They tried to kick four paying customers off the airline to put 4 non-paying employees on the flight. Now, those employees might have had to get to where they were going, but those guys were employees. If anybody should have had to wait, it should have been the employees, right? Then they used police force to literally physically remove this guy and busted his lip. The cop did get suspended without pay, which is right. The cop had no right to put his hands on that guy. The guy committed no crime whatsoever. He wasn't being abusive. There's plenty of videos to prove that, despite whatever the CEO, Oscar Muniz, says about it, that thing. So here's the thing. This is how it should have been handled. And this is a great learning experience for us all. United, knowing that nobody wanted to volunteer to give up their seat, they offered money, which is good. But that didn't work. They offered more money. They went to like $800. 3 people, because they needed to get rid of 4. 3 people left. 1 person stayed behind because he was a doctor and had to go see patients. And I'm not leaving. I got patients to go see. And, to me, I'd rather him stay on the plane. Maybe somebody else could have gone. But what they should have done, instead of calling the cops and then having the cops physically rough up this guy, which was uncalled for, they should have offered more money. And if that didn't work, they should have offered more incentives. I mean, seriously. I mean, it would have cost them a few more $1,000 possibly, maybe a couple $1,000s to remove this guy. But look at the lost business that they're going through right now. Look at the PR fiasco. Look at the stock market prices of United Airlines. How much money did they lose compared to how much they would have lost if they would have just offered the guy more money or more incentives? Maybe, offer him free flights for a year, or, put him up in a 5-star hotel for the night, or put him on the next flight at first class. They could have done a whole bunch of different stuff to handle this. But here's the thing. If you're in that situation, what would have you done? How would have you handled that situation? Right? Let's say you own a landscaping company and you overbook. You got too many jobs to do in a day. What do? What do you do? It's not the customer's fault, it's your fault. You overbooked. So what do? Do you make the customer wrong? Or do you really profusely apologize and make it right to a customer and give them twice the amount of service to make up for it? What do? And that is the question. That's where United failed. They didn't do that. Instead, they made the customer wrong, blamed it, say that the customer was belligerent, arrogant, and unruly, which is all a lie. There's video to prove it. And then to come out and defend those actions, that completely uncalled for. And quite honestly, it's companies like this that should go under. They should actually just die. United should not even exist at this point. But people will still fly United because they're morons. And that's okay. But what would you do? How would you, as a business person, how would you handle that? I own a moving company. I'll tell you what I would do if I had double booked. I would call up a customer. I'd probably call up all my customers and say, look, I overbooked. I overbooked. I'm sorry completely. I'm not going to be able to handle one. Can you move? If that customer can't move, then I'd call up the next one and see if they could reschedule. And you know what? I always find somebody willing to do it. But I have had to do this in the past. I have had it where a job has taken longer and I couldn't do the next job, so I had to call up the customer and I gave them an extra person to do the job quicker at no extra cost, or I was willing to discount the move by a little bit. There was a lot of things that I could have done to do this. So what would you do? What would you do if you were a business? And I think if you go from the viewpoint of how are you going to solve your problem at the customer's advantage, that is the lesson that you should learn from United. They did not go from the customer's advantage, they went from their own advantage. They were more interested about what's good for them versus what was good for their customers. And that's what led to the entire mess. So when you have a situation like, what would you do? How are you going to handle it? Me, I'm going to handle it from the customer's advantage. All right? So just something for you to think about. Like you, love you. Please share this video with all your family and friends. Subscribe to my button, and I'll see you next time. Thank you very much. Have a great day.